Hi, this is Farel, and today, or I actually did this yesterday, but doing the last page of a sketchbook. This is the sketch that I did in it, and it's only actually like a half page of a rather small sketchbook. It's not like my main sketchbook, but I've had it for a few years. I haven't been doing much sketchbooking, but I just kind of roughed it in with pencil, and this is the page opposite that I just did recently, and it's I think it's a Fabriano sketchbook. Looks pretty well worn. I think there might even be a few pages ripped out, but I'm just gonna flip through it here real quick. And my book, The Often Wrong, which I think some of these sketchbook pages are in that. Like I think maybe this one and that last one was. The idea was to kind of go through this page by page and show where they printed in the Often Wrong, but I ended up just flipping through this Often Wrong a few times. I don't know if I found the actual drawings that are kind of mixed in there. Often Wrong is like a collection of mine that came out a few years ago with a bunch of little comic stuff that I did and sketchbook stuff, thumbnails, some covers, illustrations, various things like that. Some stuff I did from Profit, some that didn't make it in the comic, or I guess like roughs and sketches and stuff. These were like commissions and Inktober drawings that I did. I couldn't include any of the Marvel, DC, Disney stuff. I think I maybe put in one or two of the Miyazaki things in there. Although that's technically Disney owned, but it came out a couple years ago from Image Comics if you want to grab one. This sketch here I actually did as a painting, which I was planning on taking a picture of it and intermixing it, but I think I'm going to save that for like a later video, because I still need to finish a couple little things on the painting. And this was a one-page concept thing I did with a comic with Brandon that we didn't finish. But this right here is a comic that appears in The Often Wrong. It's an It Will All Hurt story, like a side story or like an after story, where I did a contest. It was like last year or the year before to name, it might have been a couple years ago, to name that character. There you could see the sketch for the Sense of Rest album cover I did for Great Falls. Here's some Proxima Centauri cover sketches for issue 6 mixed in there. I think that sketch on the left was going to be an illustration that I never finished as a Ferengi Quark or someone just being weird. You can see a little bit of my process here for the It Will All Hurt stuff, right? So I do just a straight pen sketch without penciling it, and then you can see the lettering I did sort of on the side, the stuff that I wasn't happy with, and so that was like that little comic you can get in the It Will All Hurt. I don't know if this sketch went in there, because these are some sketches that I'm planning on using for Robot Todd, the Robot Todd story, which is like the next comic I'm going to do after I get done with the current project I'm working on. And here are the thumbnails for the It Will All Hurt story that I think I did them after I did a few of the pages, just to kind of get an idea of where I wanted it to go. Normally with the It Will All Hurt stuff, it's more stream of consciousness, where I'm just kind of making it up as I go along, panel to panel. But at some point in the story, I was like, all right, what do I do to make this make sense? So redrew the pterodactyl a couple times. Whoosh. So the two main characters were Leon Fireglove and Blam Dabbit. That was a sketch for an illustration that I never finished. I had to turn it down after months of trying to do it. Here's a couple sketches. The other sketch was a thing for The Beguiling. I did like a poster for them like a year or two ago, a couple years ago now. There's Robot Todd. I've got my vaccine shot. I did this, whatever that was, like a couple months ago now. And you can see the infrequency of this. I just did these recently, and these are like the last few pages in the sketchbook. And this is more for that Robot Todd story. And this is for the Popkin War 3. It's a series I do called Popkin War. And I got inspired kind of recently to do a couple little character sketches of Gwen, who's going to be probably like the main character. It'll be like her, Sinclair, and Emily with all my other characters. So there's the last page. You can see that sketch actually looks a little less defined or refined than the first one I showed you. Here I'm just cleaning off the little watercolor palette set that I use. It's whole bean watercolors, if anyone's curious, and I think it's a Raphael brush. I'm not sure which 840 it is, 8408 maybe, but it's a small one. It's like size 1 or something like that. But yeah, here just using watercolor, made a little gouache too. I think I messed the face up, so here's my preliminary finish, and then I worked on it some more, you can see, and I think that's probably like the best version of it, but then I think I fussed with it a little more after this, even. See, after I did the butterfly and some other little things. I should have just left it alone right here. But unfortunately, we weren't playing a game of should-haves, or aren't playing a game of should-haves, or something like that. I stole that from an old Peanut strip that I read as a kid. I just said it to myself a lot over the years to remind myself to not whine about stuff that's already happened. You know, you can't really change the outcome of like a score on a game that you tried your best at, but just remind yourself, oh, next time I'll try to do better in this capacity or that capacity, I guess. I don't know. That's what I took from that kind of trite saying from the tennis pro Snoopy. Yeah, so this is like pretty much the finish. You can see on the back side of this sketchbook paper, the Popcorn War illustrations, pretty good paper held up under the punishment of watercoloring it. And so that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon if you want, Farel Dal. I'll start posting there again today, I promise. Bye.